Hi guys, voice reveal video I guess. This might be a bit of an awkward video because I literally have no script for this. I just have a list of the things of pros and cons for the tablet. I don't have this scripted or anything, so if it gets a bit awkward, I apologise in advance. Whilst I'm listing through the pros and cons of the Gaomon tablet, I'll be drawing Percival, Graves and Credence Barebone from Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them because they are my gay babies and I love them. So yeah, you can watch that whilst I make your ears bleed. So let's get on with the tablet review, I guess. So I've had the tablet for a good few weeks now, since the end of April, beginning of May. And the pros and cons, there's a good ratio between them, but I'll go through the cons first, because a lot of the cons are more sort of personal. They're more down to personal preference, really. It's not really a general thing, it's more my own, kind of issues with it, and kind of the stuff that I have available to me. So we'll go through the cons first, and then I'll go through the pros. So one of the cons is obviously previously when I was unboxing it, the wires, there's quite a few. Obviously, thankfully, the wire is just kind of one big sort of cable, which I guess is quite good. But, there's a lot of, plugs and stuff. There's, 2 plugs that go into the computer, and then there's obviously another 2 that go into the tablet itself, and then there's obviously the power sort of cable. Which, if you haven't got a big desk, and the wires, at the moment my tablet is plugged in, and my wires literally come onto my chest of drawers, which admittedly is right next to my desk, but it's just a bit awkward when you're trying to plug it in. You're kind of having to faff around with where the cables go, and so they're not in the way, but also they don't kind of bend and sort of shift or anything. So I don't know, compared to my old tablet where it was just literally one wire, you'd plug it in and it would just literally go down the side of my desk and it wouldn't really be an issue. Admittedly they're not really an issue when I'm drawing anyway, but it's just a bit sort of awkward, I suppose would be the right word. And regarding to plugs the HDMI port, that was a fun thing. Please check that you have a legit HDMI port on your computer, because I don't. I have one on my old laptop, but I don't on the current laptop that I have now. The HDMI port is I don't know what kind of sort of port it is, but basically I had to buy an adapter, which thankfully I was able to get it the day after, but it was just I got the tablet the day before I went on my birthday. I wanted to use it straight away and I couldn't. So that's just kind of a thing to maybe look out for, check your laptop for the correct sort of ports before you go into actually buying a tablet. That was obviously a mistake on my part, but, check that sort of stuff when you're looking at a new tablet. Basically just don't be an idiot like me and think, oh, my laptop will assumedly have all the right ports and stuff. It didn't, and I got really angry about it, and then I had to wait until 8 PM on the 1st of May to use my tablet, which was fun. And also, the tablet, for a 15-inch tablet, it is quite big. It's bigger than my laptop. I'll pop up a sort of comparison size of my Gaomon tablet, on my Wacom tablet, and then my Gaomon tablet and my laptop. it's bigger than my laptop, which is quite funny and amusing. But yeah, I don't know if size, like if you don't have a terribly big, I mean my tablet takes literally like, I mean not half the size of my desk, but a considerable amount of, desk space. Kind of to the point where I had to rearrange my desk layout around because I knew that if I kept it the way it had been previously, I would not be able to really put my tablet anywhere kind of safe. Yeah, so I guess the size of the tablet is something to kind of consider when you're buying. Obviously, that's a fairly self-explanatory thing. I don't know why I'm advising you on that. And also another thing, in the accessories that came with it, there wasn't a cleaning cloth. I mean, it's not a big deal because, I mean, you could use like a glasses cleaning cloth or whatever, which I have, so I can use that. I use that to clean my tablet because it's kind of soft enough. I don't know, like, if that's an issue. I mean, it is kind of a bit of a disappointment because a cleaning cloth would be useful and kind of make sense, but yeah, that was really the only thing it came without, which, isn't really a big deal. Like, you can find alternatives, you can probably buy a cleaning cloth online, so it's not really a big deal, but I don't know, just something that would have been nice to have added with the tablet and the accessories that came with it, considering they, had everything else, you would think, a cleaning cloth would be quite nice. The stand. It doesn't come fixed to the tablet, you have to screw it on. If that's an issue, yeah, I don't know. Now the stand, unfortunately, it obviously doesn't really give you the opportunity to lay your tablet completely flat, which, I mean, for me, I have my laptop located behind my tablet, so unfortunately when I'm drawing, I don't have the hotkeys currently set up. I'll probably experiment with that later, but I did try a couple of days ago and it didn't work for me, but I probably did it wrong, to be honest. When I'm, drawing and I want to, undo something, I don't really want to have to, press the, I don't know, I think more Control Z instead of pressing the undo button in my art program. So having to kind of lean over my laptop and sort of press Control Z kind of gives me a little bit of arm ache, and it's just a bit inconvenient, really. But, I guess if the stand really bothers you, you can unscrew it and take it off, but, I mean, again, personal preference. And also, the case that the tablet comes with, I wouldn't say you're going to have to take the stand off if you want to put the tablet in the case. If you're travelling with the tablet, you will have to take the stand off to fit it in. Which again is just a bit of a faff and a bit annoying. I have yet to take the tablet with me anywhere. It has yet to travel with me, but I know for a fact that I'm going to have to take the stand off because the case is really, thin, width-wise, and I know that it just won't fit in to the case if the stand is still connected to the tablet, so, and there isn't, another case or any space on the, case for the tablet to put the stand, so, yeah, that's just a bit of a pain, I guess. Or, I guess you could find, a alternative case to put the tablet in with the stand, again, these are just kind of personal preferences, and, or if you're just a really, picky sort of person, yeah, that's really it for the cons, honestly, again, like I said before, they're really just sort of more pet peeves than generalized criticism, things that, can be solved fairly easily and self-explanatory, so, there's not really much else to say about that. Now on to the pros. Like I said, the tablet is big. But this does count for very good workspace, I have to admit. I definitely am appreciating the large workspace a lot more, compared to my old tablet. I really do appreciate the large workspace. 15 inches is pretty good. I don't really see myself needing to go any higher than 15 inch, anywhere in the close future, so I think 15 inch is a good, like, sort of beginner size. If this is your first screen tablet like mine, I have nothing else to compare the product, the make, the size to, so I can't really say too much in regards to, like, screen tablets. So, I can't really say, 24 inches better, 15 inches better, like, I can't really say anything like that, but honestly, the large workspace is really good, and I definitely have been able to appreciate it very early on. And yeah, the tablet is easy to get used to, coming off from that workspace branch, because at first I was a bit skeptical. I was like, oh, is this going to take a little while to get used to? I was a bit worried about it taking, like, a decent amount of time to need to get used to, but honestly, like, I drew on it for, like, the second time, and I was like, this is actually so easy to draw on, like, it was an easy transition from, like, a kind of a tablet where I had to look at my laptop screen to a screen tablet, which I'm actually very glad it was so easy to kind of adapt into. And drawing on it is really good. Now, it came with a glove. I think, I've never really been a fan of, like, tablet gloves, and the one that I wore, it wasn't too big, but it wasn't too small either. And I didn't really want to have to use the glove. Obviously, I would have if I had to, but thankfully I don't have to. When I brush my arm across the screen, the cursor doesn't move, it stays in line with the pen calibration. So really, if you want to use the glove, use it. If you don't. I don't use it, and my tablet works fine, it doesn't ruin anything. So yeah, and the surface is very paper-like, it does feel like you're drawing on, like paper or something, which is actually it's a nice kind of sort of aesthetic, I guess. I don't really know how to describe it really, but it's a nice kind of texture. It's quite traditional, sort of. I don't know, the surface feels like paper. What more do you want me to kind of say about that? I don't know. The tablet was very easy to set up, when I got it out of the box, putting the standing, you just have to screw it in. It came, like, even in the accessories, it came with, like, sort of like a screw to and it came with the screws, the kind of screwdriver thing. It came with everything that you needed, so, like, say if you didn't have access to, like, a screwdriver, like, it came with one, so you didn't have to, like, go out and buy a screwdriver, or, like, screws or anything. Like, it came with everything. It came with, obviously, the pen holder and the nibs, which is actually really useful, because, it's like, you know where you kind of your pen is if you put it in the holder, and it comes with, I can't remember how many nibs it comes with, I think it's like 10 or 11 if you count the nib that the pen already has in it, and, like, the holder acts as a case for the nibs, which is really useful. It does prevent you losing the pen. I would never a person to lose my tablet pen. I know quite a lot of people are prone to losing their tablet pens, but I never was one of those people. But I do appreciate this holder. It is very useful. And the hotkeys, there are 10 hotkeys. I had to count how many there were, which is actually quite a lot. Like, it's a decent amount, and it provides a lot of customization for the tablet, which is actually very useful. I remember I was researching what screen tablet to get, hotkeys were, like, a big thing that I wanted, and I remember my dad was, like, actually saying to me, like, you can get a Wacom Cintiq, and we were looking at them, and I was like, literally the one thing that put me off was it not having hotkeys. There were no hotkeys on the side of the tablet or anything. And I was looking at Huion, but it didn't really kind of click with me. And then I saw Tiff's review of this exact same tablet, I think, if memory serves me correctly. I'll provide a link in the description below to her review of one of the Gaomon tablets. It might be the same one. And it just kind of felt right to me, like, to get that tablet. It just sort of like, that's the one I want. Whereas with all the other tablets, that hadn't been sort of a thing, like, I kind of had to consider it a bit more, whereas I saw the review on that tablet, and straight away I was like, I want that tablet. So, yeah. And it's a good beginner tablet. I'm very happy that I got this one as my first screen tablet. It's good price. It was over 200, only over 250 quid. You know, that's pretty good. And for how well it works, it's a very good deal. I think personally, like, you look at all these other, like, here we are on like £500, and again, that's pretty cheap. But, like, you know, this Gaomon tablet's literally under 300 quid, and it works so well. Honestly, Wacom's like over 1,000 quid, but whatever, we're not here to talk about that. I'm really happy with the tablet, and also the colour contrast, which is something I think a lot of people are very conscious of. The colour contrast is really good, like, the comparison is pretty good. I mean, I will admit the colours are, like, they're a bit duller on the tablet screen than on the computer. They're less vibrant. But for me personally, it doesn't bother me, because I'll admit so far I have only been working from reference sheets. So I haven't really had to, like, kind of pick a colour from scratch and use it. But that hasn't, the colour contrast is, it's not much of an issue for me personally. That was something I was a little bit worried about, but I have to say it isn't an issue for me at all. So, yeah, overall I would really like, if you're looking to get, like, a good first beginner screen tablet, even as your first ever tablet, or as, like, an upgrade from a basic tablet, I would recommend this so much to anyone who's considering it. And it's definitely helped me improve my art. Like, I can be so much more detailed and accurate with my artwork and my shapes. Like, my artwork, I can feel that my artwork is going to improve quite a lot, and, like, already I can see, like, the improvement in anatomy because of this. Like, I'm able to be so much more, like, kind of detailed, and I can't remember what the word is, like, what's the word? Decisive with where, like, my lines go. I'll admit, it did take a couple of, like, kind of drawing sessions to get used to using, but after that, I was like, cool, I know how to use this now. So, yeah, the customization is very useful, with the hotkeys and, the calibration and everything. Yeah, there isn't really much else to talk about, I guess. Yeah, I just recommend it, It was definitely worth the money that I did not spend on it. My father did, but it was a birthday present, so, But yeah, I would recommend it. It is a very good tablet. And also it's big enough, but small enough to kind of take with you in, like, a rucksack or something. So, it's portable, if you're the kind of artist that travels a lot or whatever. It's portable enough. Again, it comes with, like, the case and everything. I mean, I know that was a bit of a con, but there's ways around it. It's not a huge deal. Yeah, there's not really anything else to talk about. So, yeah. Thank you for listening. Sorry if this was a bit awkward. This is my first sort of talking video. I'm gonna have so much fun editing this. I hate my voice, Jesus Christ. Yeah, bye. I don't know How do people end this stuff so casually? How do people do this so casually? I don't understand.